So just some teaching tips for correct technique. So you've always got to keep a neutral spine. You want your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. You want your knees tracking over your toes, okay? Keeping your eyes forward, you know, and squeeze your glutes, push through your hips, and make sure that your inner wrists come into contact with your thighs with full extension at the top of the swing. So there are two main common faults, okay, with the kettlebell swing. The first one is kind of bending too far with the knees and going too low for the kettlebell and producing a lot more stress on the lower spine. Okay, the next one is obviously not getting enough hip hinge and coming far enough back to really fully engage your glutes and your hamstrings and really getting that power when you're coming through and extending, okay? So the first 5 repetitions with the kettlebell will be coming down too low, and the other one will be not getting enough hip hinge. So there are a couple of common faults, okay, that can occur when completing the kettlebell swings, okay. One of the biggest common faults that will happen, okay, is generating too much power from the squatting position, okay. So it means that you're bending, well, relying too much on knee bend, okay, and the kettlebell swinging down lower than it should be, putting a lot more stress on the lower back, okay. So I'll do a couple of those for you, and I'll show you a quick tip or cue to rectify that problem and keep your clients nice and safe. So as you can see there, I was bending a lot at the hips, okay, so the kettlebell was swinging nice and low there. So what I've done is I've just put something out in front, about 1.5 feet, okay, and what that does is it gives a lot of sensory feedback, okay, so if you hit whatever's in front of you, obviously you're going a little bit too low and you're not hinging at the hips. Okay, so the next common fault is usually the client won't be able to get enough hip hinge, so they won't be hinging back enough to really engage their glutes and their hamstrings and be able to come through and fully extend. So what we're going to do, so a little cue for that, is just having a rod and placing it behind them, okay, and give them some sensory feedback just so they can kind of understand their proprioception and where their body is and what they're trying to do, okay. Cool. And as they get the grasp of that, you can slowly move the rod away further and further until they're in that correct spot where you're happy. Okay, so here is a copy of the 5x5 program that I'll be completing in the next video. So what we've got in sequential order is 5 times cleans, 5 times rack squats, 5 times push press, 5 times high pulls, and 5 times swings. The way this is going to work is we're going to do everything on the right side of the body and then everything on the left side of the body. And there you have the 5x5. Normally you would try to do it continuously without putting the kettlebell down, but I just wanted to give you a view of a front and a side.